switching gears, moving over to NBA. Let's go ahead and start off with this Jaylen Brown contract. What you thinking?
For a guy with no left hand,
Crazy.
pretty rich deal.
He basically Captain Hook. Like, that's crazy. Like, man, when he dribbled with that left hand, it looked so deflated. Like,
oh my God. He played just so mid in the playoffs last year. It really made me upset that he got this much money, but congrats to the guy. Yeah. But the main thing about it though is just the nature of these contracts going forward, because if you paying a guy like Jaylen Brown $304 million,
I mean, so I know they're checking off these boxes, right? You have to achieve certain stuff. It's like all NBAs, etc., playoff wins, finals appearances, and then if they win, blah blah blah. But when I'm looking at players that deserve this type of money, I feel like MVPs have to be won. Rings have to be won. You can't tell me Jaylen Brown deserves $300 million. You can't tell me that, not deserves it, obviously you're putting in the work, but you can't tell me that Desmond Bane gets $200 million.
Right.
You know, when it's like players like Steph, he got it, obviously, but like LeBron doesn't get those type of things. He signs shorter term deals.
Right.
He's on the back half of his career.
when you get older like that, Tom Brady did the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, to me, if you don't have a resume with anything on it, why is the number so high?
Right.
Like with MPJ, I think MPJ signed for like $215 million or something like that.
Crazy.
Last year, and he didn't do anything at
That's
that point.
Crazy.
I think he was hurt half of his time, and he played maybe a season and a half. That last season was crucial. It was a contract year. They wanted to lock him up, into that system because he fits well. But to me, it just doesn't make sense for players that don't have a resume to get that type of money.
Exactly. So then it's like, okay, so then what do you pay Jason Tatum? Like, does he get $450 million now?
So I mean, I think it's just gonna be a situation where they're gonna make the same money, and you're gonna have $120 million of the cap for two players,
and then have nobody else on the team.
Nobody else. So sign me up. I'll play in Boston.
We gonna have to, because you know what I'm saying, it could be a St. Louis connection, Jason Tatum,
Sure, I'll be at the hoop summits.
It's a hoop summit. So I think with this year's squad, I think after this year, they're gonna have to let go of a lot more people.
It's finals or bust.
Oh yeah.
Because when you make moves like paying Jaylen Brown $300 million, you have to pay Tatum next year, this year, next year. Then
next year.
Then you sign Porzingis.
And it was a 2-year deal.
2-year deal, so you get him with 85.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
I think it was 80, 85, somewhere in there. It's 2 or 3 year deal. I don't remember.
So you got a 40. I think Jason Tatum's on a 30, and then Jaylen Brown's 60 almost. 50, 60.
It probably is backloaded.
It's like 50, then it goes up to like 69.
So normally what they do is they backload it to where at the end of the deal they give you room to restructure it, blah 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 blah. But I'm still not restructuring. But bro, give me my money.
Facts.
If I sign this
guaranteed
contract,
money too.
You offered it. Give me my money.
This is guaranteed money. He's gonna get $304 million.
So it's like, I know, like, these organizations get handcuffed to the point where it's like, do we pay him or let him walk for nothing? I mean, I think you want to see, they're so young, you want to see what they can be, because they haven't hit their prime yet.
True.
And you can tell by in these championship moments, you can tell that they're not in their prime.
Right.
Because the decision making is poor, or just overall, just shot selection is bad.
Yeah.
And I understand there was a change in coach unexpectedly, but to me, Jason Tatum is 6'10". Why are you shooting threes? You know what I'm saying?
Because when he's on, he's on.
He can give you 5 threes. When he's off, he's off.
Until the fourth quarter. And he'll turn it on.
But I mean,
I say keep
at
shooting.
that point, you 6 for 88.
Volume shooter.
Your volume shooter badge is deactivated.
It's on bronze.
But I'm like, bro, 6'10". Most people that you're guarding, they can't guard you because you're guarding.
Nobody said nothing to MPJ when he was just throwing up shots.
We say the same thing.
And he's 6'11".
But I say the same thing. You're 6'11".
And he got $250 million.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same argument. Like me, I'm very consistent with my takes on these players. Like, if you're getting paid certain money, don't back out like you ain't just get paid that money. Don't give me this Zeke action because your money's guaranteed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you get waived, you're still getting paid. They gotta cut
that check, which is interesting. And I think like after a year or two, or maybe whenever they gotta pay Jason Tatum, they still have to make that decision. Like, do we keep Tatum and Brown together, or do we separate them? Because they could trade off the Jaylen Brown contract, but the problem is you have to try to find a team that's going to take that contract.
So, I mean, I don't remember if he has a no trade clause or whatnot.
I don't think he does. But they don't want to do that no more. Brad Beal messed it up for everybody.
But I mean, like you can obviously send him to rot in hell, like in a bad organization.
Yeah, like the Wizards.
No.
Okay, the Spurs.
They're gonna be good.
Yeah.
They're gonna be good. It might be 5 years.
Victor, what's your mama gonna turn around?
No, I mean, I think that's I think he's a project player. I don't. But we're not talking about him.
I'm talking about full speed NBA. All right, yeah, we'll talk.
Because I mean, like for me, I think a player that you pull that trigger on, right? Like, if you had to do something and make that move, it's like, we got to do something right now. We're in win at this exact moment. You send him to Portland.
Whew.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
Dame wants to leave. You as the Celtics, do what we got to do.
That's true.
So you send him to Portland, or you got to send him to somewhere like New Orleans, where you can get extreme value for him.
Him for Zion.
Yeah, you take that risk.
Zion take a haircut. You can get like $20 million.
I mean, you make the money work. You got to do a player swap. So or like. Do you send them to? You don't send them to Denver because you're gonna have to see them at some point.
Facts.
So it ain't many teams in the West that's coming out. It's only two you're worried about. The West,
Denver and New Orleans.
No, not New Orleans. They can't even stay healthy. They got baby mama drama over there.
No, the baby mama's fine. It's the porn star ex-girlfriend.
They got side chickens. They got side missions failed over there. So I mean, when you look at it, it's only two teams. You're worried about Denver. You're worried about Phoenix, what they put together, and you keep your eyes open for the Lakers, for what they've done,
and Golden State.
And Golden State. I'm sorry, I always forget about Golden State. But I mean, with Golden State, it's the same issue every single year. It's no size. Like
it's too small.
It's too small. So it's like if the Celtics should have won that finals. They just didn't have a game plan for Steph.
Right.
Like, Steph was just raining hell.
Like, it's hard to have a game plan for him unless you're LeBron. But even then, you still going to,
At that point, what do? So, do you throw... You try to throw smart at him, right?
Right.
It's not going to work. Because he's running off screen, so the man is switching. Then you throw... Let me throw JB at him. Let me throw JT at him. It's you're trying different things, but then you leave yourself exposed to Draymond Green's playmaking. So it's just the system is so hard, and that's why
it flows so smoothly. It flows well. That's why they're so good.
It flows well, and it takes elite minds to beat Golden State. Like it takes those LeBrons, it takes those. It's really just been
which should play a part in getting something like $300 million.
I agree, because I don't see how these contracts are equating to team success.
Right.
Because when Bradley Beal was getting his money, that was a loyalty bag to me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So it's a loyalty bag. Same with Dame. Like I feel like Dame was winning at a point in time, but like the most recent money that Dame got was a loyalty bag.
Here, thank you for staying here and making us a little bit relevant.
Yeah, but when it's like with Jaylen Brown, he's so young and so early in his career, this can't be a loyalty bag. They're winning, sure. They're getting to the finals and whatnot, but it's paired with JT.
Right.
So I don't know if you break it up and it becomes an issue on, we needed to keep him. But if I'm building a team, I'm picking Jason Tatum over Jaylen Brown.
Facts. Like I think after this year, maybe like I said, 1 to 2 years, if they got the same kind of production out of both of them, or if it gets worse, they're moving off of Jaylen Brown, whether it be a trade or whatever they got to do to move off of him, which probably gonna have to be a trade.
Yeah.
And they're gonna stick with Jason Tatum and try to build around him, and see where that goes.
Built around him.
It is, but you got them jockeying for position, and then all the money is sort of being tied up in trying to figure out how to keep them both happy financially. Yeah. So
I mean,
it's a tough decision if you're a Boston Celtics or really any GM right now, because with this contract being the way that it is, and you're talking about Jaylen Brown, who's maybe like a top 20 NBA player right now actively.
Sure. I'll say you could probably go top 15.
Okay. And I was scared to do 15, but I'm comfortable with top 20, top 15, let's just say. But then the other 14 people, how you going to pay them?
I agree. I mean, it's top 5 money. Like, I feel...
A lot of teams ain't got it like that.
I feel like Jaylen Brown got top 5 money. I feel like that's reserved for the Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Steph, JT. That's that money. That's that's top 5 for me.
Yeah.
But he got that money. I mean, hey,
it's gonna be a lot of players. I feel like now that are gonna get like $500 million contracts now.
But you're gonna have to extend the time. You're gonna have to do 10 years.
Yeah,
or something.
it's gonna be like baseball money now.
It has to, because I think that's where we're going. Because it's no way possible you're gonna be like, hey, let me give you this much money. How can you give somebody
and you're the number 2 on the team? And you're the number 2 on the team.
Could you imagine seeing a 5-year, $500 million contract and somebody making $100 million with no MVPs?
They take away the guaranteed money.
Man, stop it.
They start doing incentive-based contracts. That's the only way I can see it.
But they just moved away from that.
Well, they go back.
Nah, CBA ain't letting that happen.
CJ McCollum messed up the CBA.
Nah, he ain't letting that happen. Chris Paul will put on his Dickie suit.
Chris Paul gonna be long gone by then.
No, he ain't. He coming back.
He went to die with the Golden State Warriors. He gonna be on that bench coaching.
He coming back.
He is the Golden State Warriors assistant coach. Is really his title.
Let me play my average 4 games.
His title.
He can ride that way.
Strength and conditioning coach for the Golden State Warriors.
Definitely don't want him as that.
Right.